This goes out to my mom.
I'm so used to being broke, but not no more.
The world has just started to get to know the genius of Teddy Swims. Teddy began his career as a cover artist on YouTube, using his soulful voice to add a new twist to classic songs. He gained an audience instantly, with his first cover of Michael Jackson's Rock With You becoming an instant hit.
Girl, close your eyes, let the rhythm get in.
After his first hit, Teddy continued to experiment. Within one summer, he was a YouTube star, having gained hundreds of millions of views, millions of subscribers, and many viral videos. Even after he gained fame, Teddy continued experimenting with his music because he believed in staying genre-defying. He chose songs to cover based on how they made him feel, rather than what genre they were from. This can tell you a lot about how Teddy approached music. He approached music in a way that focuses on emotions and meaning, rather than technique and genre.
I'm going under in this time of fear, there's no one to save me.
Teddy has the voice of an angel, a voice that's soulful, and he turns every song into his own by adding a unique twist. After Teddy gained the heights of YouTube fame, he decided to dive into making music. He knew that he had garnered a community who would take whatever he gave them, and his genre-defying ways meant he could experiment with various styles when it came to his music. Teddy's first album was hilariously named I've Tried Everything But Therapy. This name not only resonated with his fans, but is also an ode to his own journey with mental health and therapy.
Walking down the street last night.
In an interview on The Jennifer Hudson Show, he spoke about how this name reflected the changing attitude we as a generation have towards therapy. However, it wasn't just the album name that highlighted vulnerability. The album as a whole is fueled by Teddy's heartbreaks, his relationship with his past, and his insecurities. The album's a unique blend of heartbreak paired with cheesy beats that you might see in a fun pop song. People keep their hearts on their sleeves, but Teddy ripped his heart out and kept it in this album for all of us to admire. The songs of this album are just as unique and diverse as Teddy Swims himself, with the lyrics and the beats being an iconic blend of depressive lyrics and sunshine beats, just like the iconic conditions of his life at the time. See, when Teddy gained fame on YouTube and was seemingly at the height of his YouTube career, he was also personally going through an incredibly difficult relationship, and even though the relationship was toxic, breaking away was incredibly hard for him. In his own words, "Our lives were very intertwined, and so it's quite nuts to have this come out at the same time this is all happening, and it's all even more real to me now than it was when I was writing it, which is quite insane," remarked Swims, who helped pen all but one song. "We weren't great together, toxic substance abuse and alcohol. So it's like a lot of my journey through that, and my journey to also recover from how I treated myself and how I felt like I was unlovable." The 10-track album is a great insight into who Teddy Swims is as a musician. In true Teddy fashion, the album has tracks in all genres including R&B, country, pop, and light rock. Each song is a unique insight into Teddy's life and emotional thinking. The album was led by the song Lose Control, and this song earned Swims his first entry on the Billboard Hot 100 and his first solo radio hit.
Something's got a hold on me lately. No, I don't know myself anymore.
When asked about the writing process for the album, Teddy talked about how, in reality, he'd written maybe 400 songs in 4 years. According to him, he didn't write these songs with the intention of them becoming an album, but soon enough as he kept writing, the album started coming together. The goal for his album was to break through from these toxic feelings and accept himself for who he is, a sentiment that most of us can relate to. I realized that I've been circling around the same feelings and emotions for a very long time. It's always about, I was in a very toxic relationship, and I've been a lot in my life. This is my kind of learning that I can be loved and that I am beautiful and I deserve love. That's kind of what the struggle is and always has been. Powerful words from a powerful musician. This feeling came through in his music, and according to one of his fans, man has a voice that speaks to the core of your soul. This album is special for Swims. It invokes feelings among his fans, but also holds a very special place in his heart. This is his first album, his first shot at original music, and a process of gaining self-confidence in himself as an artist and as a human being. According to him, everybody kinda doesn't like their voice, you know? But I feel like I belonged on those songs, and nobody could say what I needed to say the way I could say it. I feel like I'm saying something that I need to say and get off my chest in an entirely different way than I ever have before. Teddy also talked about his thought process as a whole when it comes to making music and how for a lot of artists, songwriting can be therapeutic. Teddy hilariously recounted how when he starts writing, it's as therapeutic because he's putting out his thoughts on a paper and getting it all out of his head, but in this case, it doesn't just stop at one song. As a songwriter, he loves to experiment so that one song of emotional release turns into hundreds, each written with a new perspective each time. So writing down his problems in his songs and rewriting them constantly can turn them from therapeutic to an overthinker's nightmare.
Whoa, oh, mercy, mercy me.
This album's relatable to all of his fans in more ways than one, while the title of the album is a promise Teddy made to himself to go to therapy. This album taught him a lot about himself, his audience, and his craft.
Got your crown on my shoulder, and I know better than to listen.
The album, with its beautiful music, is an ode to how far we've come in the pursuit of mental health. Only a few years back, singers and artists were glorified, a step above the normal people. Those celebrities didn't share their insecurities or how they truly felt. But now, with our acceptance of mental health, no celebrity has to hide how they truly feel inside. When they're honest, they can connect with their audience on a much deeper level. According to Teddy, I don't want to swallow my insecurities. I don't have to wait until I feel like I'm worthy of love to put myself out there. Every bit of insecurity and everything that's going on in my life, I'm allowed to just wear it and put it on for everybody to see. That's helped me in more ways than me trying to be anything that I'm not. This album shares a taste of the new revolution in music. Teddy started by adding a unique spin to covers, but he truly gained an audience and became a known personality when he chose to express himself, be original, and experiment. Above all, Teddy chose to be vulnerable, and that's what makes him stand out the most. Instead of sharing an album that might have blended into the crowd, he decided to take his struggles, his vulnerability, and his fears on center stage.
Out of my mind, how many times did I tell you I'm no good at being alone?
The album showed people that Teddy Swim is a legend in the making, a man that's not to be messed with. There's no doubt that Teddy has a beautiful, soulful voice, but the fact that makes him an even more powerful force in the music industry is that he knows how to tug at people's heartstrings. Teddy doesn't write music that just sounds good, but also writes music that makes you feel something. Thankfully for us and all the fans of Teddy's first album, this is not the end. According to Swims, he's planning on a second part to the I've Tried Everything But Therapy album. And even though he currently doesn't know what it'll look like or how it's going to fall into place, we know that it's going to be a great album once again. Which brings us to the end of today's video, so make sure you subscribe for more deep dives into Teddy Swim's musical journey. And as always, share your thoughts about his album in the comments and like and share for more.